Welcome to Unreal Life, where we show beginners how to fish.
So if you're a parent and you got kids and you want to know how to fish, then stay tuned. We have a few tips for you today on ice fishing as we answer the questions. How do you get started with just some basic gear without investing a bunch of money before you know if your kids will even enjoy ice fishing? So we're going to show you a couple of things today just to get out there with just some real basic gear. And if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Ram Acasio.
And my name is Justice.
And if you find any value in this video today, please consider subscribing to our channel. We have a lot more ice fishing tips coming up for you for the rest of the season. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is search for lakes in my area that are stocked with trout, and I'm going to pick one. Next, I'm going to read the fishing regulations for the lake to make sure ice fishing is even allowed on that lake, if I'm allowed to keep any fish, if there's any size limits, and if there's any special requirements like bait bans or barbless hooks. Once it's all planned out, it's time to hit the hard water and see if the dog is fired up to go.
Never not, never under yard, never ever, I'm forever on. Check my repertoire, check my repertoire, don't check me now. Let's just check some Bob. I've been feeling like I'm next to God. Next to God, next to God. Never not, never under yard.
Okay guys, so as you can see, we were at home, we did our research, we researched a lake where we're gonna go. We looked at what kind of fish are in there, what kind of fish are stocked in there. You want to dress warm, and I would say whatever you and your family, if you guys go snowboarding or skiing or whatever outdoor winter activity you do, I would dress a little bit warmer than that. Reason being is that when you're skiing or whenever you're doing something outdoors in the snow, usually you're moving. When you're ice fishing, you're not necessarily moving, you are just sitting there in the cold. Today is not very cold, it's probably -2. Feels pretty good. This is kind of ideally the type of weather you want. Obviously it would be a lot better if it was a sunny day. Let's start with some minimal gear. What this video is not going to be about today is ice safety. I have gone down and checked out the ice. I would recommend, if you're watching this and you're going to be going out, there are videos out there on ice safety and how to check if the ice is safe. Okay, let's get right into it.
Hey guys, so this is our equipment for today. So we have a normal spin cast rod with this lure right here, glow in the dark jig head. So then, and then we come over here. Worm is for the bait.
We got a bucket so you can sit on it, right?
Yeah, that you might have to borrow from someone. You might have to get it on Marketplace for something or like that. You need an auger. So an auger, you need this because you need a way to get through the ice. You can use an axe if you want to, but this is recommended to use. We do have an electric one, but we're using this today.
Well, without further ado, let's get out onto the ice. Okay guys, we're here. Okay. X marks the spot. Now, I'm gonna put a hole in the ice. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do it with one of these augers. This plastic piece right here is to cover the blades, which if you have a good auger, these blades are very, very, very sharp. So I always recommend after you're done with this, make sure you put that back on because someone could really get hurt. The dog will sniff it, cut their nose. They're usually very, very sharp. Put the auger down on the ice. My right hand's gonna be at the top to push it. And then I'm gonna use my left hand here to turn it. So you're turning it while pushing down at the top. Okay, so it's really quite simple. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna put a hole in the ice. Maybe we can even put a timer to see how long it takes to go through the ice. Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go! And that's...
I like to keep it in there for a second, kick
Get
all
the ice off.
slush away, and then I like to kind of pump it a little bit and clear it out. Now guys, I will tell you, one of the main reasons I just did it like that is because I didn't bring an ice scoop. An ice scoop is so you can clear the hole of ice. Where do we start? We're fishing for rainbow trout primarily because that's what's in this lake. The earlier you start, early in the morning, I would be starting fairly shallow, probably in about 4 feet of water, 4 to 6. As the day progresses, I want to go a little bit deeper. So I tend to drill holes straight out about every 10 feet or so out that way. My son and I have gotten here fairly late. It's already 11 o'clock almost. So I'm gonna start right about here. I'm gonna test the depth and we'll go from here. All right. Now, how do I test this depth? Don't worry about this. It's a weight. I just kind of made this concoction so I can put this and hook it to the end of my line and put it down so we can show you how deep we should go. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. All I'm gonna do is hook this up like this. I'm gonna send this down the hole. When it hits the bottom, I'm gonna know how deep it is here, and I'm gonna hook up a bobber to it and put a piece of worm on it. Real simple. So let's check it out and see how this works. Okay, you can see it down there. Here we go. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you look at the end of the rod here, I'm letting it down until it hits bottom. Okay, so there, it's hit bottom. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring it up about this far, which means I am a foot off the bottom. I'm gonna hook up a bobber to where I'm just off the bottom. There we go. Now, I know if I pull it out, I am about 8.5 feet deep here. The rainbow trout, when they come feed, they're gonna come in a little shallower. They should come into this area, or at least, you know, be coming in and out of this area. Okay, so now I've taken that weight off. I'm gonna put a piece of worm on here, and I'm just gonna simply have this bobber and worm. Oh, I got my little creepy crawlies. Okay, we don't need to put a large piece, just enough. Cut it there. So I got a piece there.
Kind of disgusting, buddy.
Okay, I have the hook exposed a little bit. Get that guy bleeding a little bit. Oh, yummy. Okay, so now I'm gonna put that down. Okay, and now, guys, we're basically fishing like bobber and worm, except instead of casting out here, we're sitting out here. And as soon as it sinks, you've got a fish on. Okay, and this is a very easy, inexpensive way to get out ice fishing. Now, I will point out a couple things. One, the reason that you have ice fishing rods and that they're so small is so that you can actually stand over the hole, and it's easier to manage, to reeling up a fish and all that, not standing way back here like this. I want to show you guys this. If it works out easier for you, if you have a 2-piece rod, just split the rod in half, and now you'd be fishing like this. And now it's a lot easier to stand over the hole. So do this whole exact setup, except that you're only using half your rod. Guys, there you have it. There's a really inexpensive way to get into ice fishing without investing a lot of money. It's just using the existing gear you already have. Like I say, you just need a way to get a hole in the ice, but there you can see why a bucket comes in handy. And I suppose if you had to, you could use that. Ew. Every once in a while, you want to jig that up and down. So maybe just jig it up a bit and down and give it some movement, because sometimes fish will see that movement and that's what will attract them in. So you want to do that. Now guys, I just want to mention one of the things you want to do is, instead of using one of these regular bobbers, best thing to do would be to use what's called a slip bobber, which the line feeds down the middle of it. That way you can really reel it in without having to worry about it stopping on the very end. And before you go out, it's always a good idea to go to your local fishing store, ask them what's working. You usually can't go wrong with bobber and worm. It's a good idea to check your regulations to make sure that you're fishing legitimately when you go out to the lake, and that way you can enjoy the time with your kids.
We actually got a few attacks on the screen. We saw a bunch of fish coming in. We got one fish came in, we saw it eat the krill. As soon as we got that krill on, because the fish after that took the bait and it fell off when it attacked.
All right guys, well that's going to conclude our episode today. Hopefully those tips and tricks help you get your kids out on the ice and enjoying some ice fishing. I want to thank you so much for watching today. If you found value in this video, feel free to subscribe, ring that notification bell so that you are notified when we get more videos.
Click down here for this video. YouTube knows you'll like it. on this video, either one down here. Thanks for watching Unreal Life. We'll see you in the next video.